The following video is for educational purposes only. It contains graphic content not suitable for younger audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Imagine waking up on a cold operating table, knowing that your organs are about to be forcibly removed without your consent. This chilling reality has been a disturbing truth in China, where human organs are sourced from prisoners, Falun Gong practitioners, and different minority groups. Human organ harvesting in China refers to the illegal and unethical practice of extracting organs from unwilling or vulnerable individuals, often prisoners held in secret detention centers or those sentenced to death. These organs are then used in the lucrative organ transplant market, feeding domestic and global demand of the rich and powerful. The practice of organ harvesting in China has its origins in the 1980s, when the country's organ transplant system was officially established. With advancements in medical technology and growing demand for organ transplants, China saw a surge in organ transplantation, attracting both domestic and international patients seeking life-saving treatments. However, the lack of an established organ donation system led to a clandestine and unregulated organ procurement process, giving rise to alarming ethical concerns. China's state-sanctioned organ transplantation system is overseen by the government and the Ministry of Health. While authorities claim that organs primarily come from voluntary donors and death row prisoners, the lack of transparency and verifiable data has raised doubts among international human rights groups and medical organizations. Disturbing reports and testimonies from former detainees and whistleblowers have shed light on the harrowing reality of forced organ harvesting in China. Individuals belonging to the persecuted groups have allegedly been subjected to systematic organ extraction, often while they were still alive. Such allegations have sent shockwaves throughout the international community, prompting calls for urgent investigations and accountability. This is where Chinese TikTok channel Beanbag Adventures enters the picture. Beanbag Adventures is a channel dedicated to urban exploration. Many of his videos are just normal YouTube-like urbex explorations. However, there are 4 videos that stand out. Before we proceed any further, we need to get 2 things out of the way. Firstly, Beanbag made 4 video clips, at least 4 that I was able to find. All of them I will show in this video, in what I believe to be the chronological order. Secondly, because this is YouTube, I have to blur out or cut out what you're about to see to keep this under the 18+ restriction. Furthermore, I am not a sensitive person myself, but when I first saw these videos on a different platform about 12 months ago, I was shocked and in denial. One side of me said, "No way in hell, this cannot be real," while the other side said, "Why not? Humanity is dark and twisted. This is real." And because most likely you will now do the opposite, I truly do not recommend you looking them up. Okay, back to the videos. The video starts with Beanbag showing the outside of the abandoned structure, followed by the inside of the upper levels. Aside from finding debris and trash, he also finds human remains, a children's bunny mask, and what appears to be a small suitcase with a shoe inside. The video ends with him proceeding to the lower floors. As Beanbag enters the tunnels, he finds old jars, tubes, and a concrete pool. As he proceeds to show us his finding in the concrete pool, in a sludgy water, we see dozens of bodies in very late stages of decomposition. To make matters worse, those bodies appear to be those of children, probably not older than 6 years old. Skeptics will immediately argue that these are not real bodies but props, lifelike looking dolls, and all of this is just some sort of a movie set. Others will say that all of this was staged either by or for Beanbag to shock his audience and to get more subscriptions. Maybe, but the amount of money going into creating these props would be astronomical. No amount of TikTok viewership could generate enough money to justify this. Also, all the bodies in the pool look unique. A very hard task to achieve even for a whole team of special effects artists. Special effects or not, the bodies are floating face up, some face down, but all with their chest and or abdomen cavities open. Some not only with missing organs but also with missing eyes. Furthermore, upon multiple viewings, Beanbag records the pool from the same left side, and what is interesting is that the bodies inside are not only unique in appearance, but are also in different positions, meaning that either they were rearranged or most likely are a new batch. The location used for this mass murder is perfect. Huge abandoned complex in the middle of nowhere, maybe a hospital, a prison, an asylum, something with a dark but known history to the locals to keep them away. Warning signs everywhere, maybe even with hyped threats to underline the "do not dare to cross" message. Also, somewhere among the outside foliage, there has to be remnants of a road connecting to this complex, a road or a path for vehicles to transport the bodies, as simply carrying them individually would not be efficient. Internet speculations point this location to an old air raid shelter belonging to the Medical College of Jilin University in Changchun City, or a military base in Bao Tan, Vietnam. We do not know which one it is for sure, however, the location is trivial. What matters the most is the gruesome discovery. As we can imagine, in order for the global organ transplant market to meet its demand, a dark and exploitative organ trafficking supply must emerge. With a shortage of legally sourced organs, the black market must prey on vulnerable individuals. This illicit trade disregards the inherent dignity of human life and perpetuates a cycle of exploitation that further worsens the ethical and human rights concerns surrounding organ harvesting. China's booming organ tourism industry has attracted patients from around the world seeking organ transplants in a country known for its efficiency in providing such medical services. However, the ethical dilemmas surrounding organ tourism are diverse. Foreign patients may unknowingly become complicit in a system that allegedly involves forced organ harvesting from vulnerable individuals. Healthcare providers, too, are faced with moral challenges when navigating the demand for organs and the ethical implications of transplanting organs procured through questionable means. The prevalence of organ trafficking and organ tourism highlights the urgent need for ethical considerations and comprehensive regulation in the field of organ transplantation. Stricter international collaboration and oversight are essential to ensure that organs are procured and transplanted ethically, with full respect for the rights and dignity of both donors and recipients. Encouraging ethical consumer choices and raising awareness about the ethical implications of organ tourism can also play a significant role in curbing the demand for black market organs and promoting ethical practices within the medical community. Because the domestic and international demand for organs is so huge and cannot be fulfilled by legal means only, Beanbag's discovery should be the equivalent of finding the smoking gun, undeniable proof that illegal organ harvesting is real, is happening right now, and is happening to children. So how do we tackle this problem? Well, despite the risks and obstacles, brave domestic human rights movements within China have emerged to combat forced organ harvesting. These activists work tirelessly to document cases of organ harvesting, raise public awareness about the issue, and advocate for the protection of human rights within the medical system. Their firm determination challenges the status quo and seeks to hold those responsible accountable for their actions. The international response to forced organ harvesting in China has also been significant, with governments, human rights organizations, and legal experts collaborating to address the issue. Some countries have enacted legislation to ban organ tourism to China, while others have initiated legal actions against individuals involved in the organ harvesting practice. International tribunals and investigations have also sought to shed light on the alleged human rights abuses and hold those responsible accountable. However, the challenge of jurisdiction and cooperation across national borders remains an obstacle in achieving full accountability. As usual, there are those who talk the talk but for whatever reason do not act upon it and hide behind bureaucracy. Choosing transparency, accountability, and adherence to ethical guidelines is pivotal in dismantling the demand for black market organs and promoting a fair and ethical organ transplantation system. But that is only preaching. A domestic task force dedicated to seeking out and breaking up these gangs would be justified and should be created if none exists. Once in the hands of the authorities, the legal punishment for these heinous crimes should be picked from the most severe law books to send a clear message: stop, or else. The pursuit of accountability and justice must also transcend national borders to ensure that perpetrators of forced organ harvesting are held responsible for their actions no matter where they are. Governments, human rights organizations, medical bodies, and law enforcement must join forces in raising awareness and investigate allegations, but most importantly, they must reinforce words with actions. We must confront the darkest aspect of human behavior and challenge the very foundations of our ethical compass. We must globally unite in the commitment to uphold the principles of basic human rights. We must strive for a future where the sanctity of human life and dignity remains untouchable, and where the shadows of forced organ harvesting are cast away forever. After all, we were not manufactured, we were born.